So I think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back. And I do believe that the American people know we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And we can chart a new way forward. And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living. I believe in what we can do together that is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do.
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to come to you and bring you the recap from the debate last night. Donald Trump took on Kamala Harris for the first time, and all that was spoken about, and as you can see in one of these videos, is that the commentators, the commentators were not as neutral as you would like. This was many people will say a 3-on-1 attack for the most part on Donald Trump and you can see very much that the questions, as you see, whether it was Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, the questions were pretty soft for Kamala Harris. Donald Trump was fact-checked 11 times during the debate, and there were no fact checks for Kamala Harris. So this is an interesting process right now. As immediately after the debate, Kamala Harris called and said that she wanted another debate. Again, if you're a prize fighter and two people go out and fight, the person who loses generally feels like they want a second round. So Donald Trump went on. He spoke a little bit about how he felt the overall process was unfair, and many people around the world actually spoken and said things that are very, very similar. I'm going to play a video here. We'll watch a little bit of this, come back and talk about it. If your first time joining, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. Here we go.
Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto if it did come to your desk.
Well, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border. I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. I'm not taking this from television. I'm taking it from the city manager. Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world saw what played out at the Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No,
I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm, lost by a whisker, we didn't quite make it. And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your allies, 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them
no
Republican.
Judge looked at it.
And said
they
there was
said
no
we didn't have
widespread fraud. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker. So he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
Your time is up. Just to clarify in the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think
President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify tonight? Vice President Harris, quote, I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent? But those were your words. So I'm asking Vice President Harris your thoughts on this.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan. President Trump, with regard to the environment, you say that we have to have clean air and clean water. Vice President Harris, you call climate change an existential threat. The question to you both tonight is, what would you do to fight climate change?
All right, perfect. I think a big thing that the debate showed, and many are saying that the Kamala Harris was given the questions in advance. I think the big target last night kind of was like what it was for Joe Biden, is that you don't be disastrous. I think that was the overall plan right now. Most of us know that, whoever it is that is being put in place for Kamala, there's someone else who's running the government. Joe Biden has been said to be the president for the last 3 or 4 years. And as we saw with his debate in June, that he's not very cognitively aware to be able to run the country. So for Kamala, people are looking for a kind of a return to normalcy, as they are feel like they're tired of Donald Trump. For those of us who are conservatives, we see Trump for his flaws, and we see the policies that do go in place under the Biden-Harris administration. There have been 10 million to 20 million illegal immigrants who have crossed into the nation. Stories in Denver, stories in Chicago, New York, some in Ohio as well have popped up about how different things are happening. Donald Trump continues to speak about how Venezuela and other nations are emptying out their prisons and kind of sending them off to America. And as we're beginning to see that around the country, you're seeing a 14-year-old girl was stabbed in Indiana. There's Lincoln Riley was killed as well. There's so many different things that are happening around the nation. And we who are voting right now are looking for a way on how you can get your president back into place, Donald Trump, and how to be able to get things kind of back to normal. The city in Ohio, Springfield, is a population of 60,000 people, and they had an influx of roughly 20,000 Haitian migrants. So that's definitely going to change the makeup of a town when you have that many. Generally, men between the ages of 20 and 40, young people as well, young families. So there's a whole lot that is going on around the country that people are looking at and trying to figure out. So with that, Kamala Harris, she did not overwhelm, but she did not, she was not a complete disaster either. And the biggest thing that I think about this particular election is that those who are for Donald Trump, the 45% for the most part, are going to remain with him regardless. They cannot see themselves voting for Kamala Harris. Those who are for Kamala Harris, the 40 to 45%, are also for her, and they cannot see themselves voting for Donald Trump. There's a 5 to 10% gap in between, and those are who the voters are, who this particular election is about. And I think for Donald Trump, he did a great job, in terms of speaking about some of the issues that he has in place. But a lot of it, what you want to focus on as someone who is kind of an outsider, is to speak to that 5 to 10% group. There are times where he spoke a little bit about the, cats being eaten in Ohio, which is a story that has been spoken about quite a bit. But you want to focus yourself, and you want to speak to those people and speak to their concerns. Those are people who go to work. They might not be as interested or as into politics as some other people. So you want to keep it on the platform of where they can understand. Inflation is rough. The last time that I was in place here, things were a lot better. If you give me an opportunity, a lot of the policies and the regulations that are being put in place by the Biden-Harris administration are constricting the growth of the country. You're seeing offshoring, you're seeing jobs that are being lost. These are the things that you can speak about, you can focus on. but but there are some opportunities where Trump could have given a sharper critique of Harris and of her policies. Kamala Harris to this point has still not had a sit-down interview with herself alone, while Donald Trump makes himself available to the public as much as possible. Immediately after the debate, he went out and he spoke with Hannity, and he answered the questions of many reporters as well. So there's a strong contrast in terms of what the two sides are doing. And again, there's likely going to be a second round to this. I'm going to play a little video here and watch a little bit of this. Again, if it's your first time joining, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And here we go.
Just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. Nice. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like, we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. I'm Lindsay Davis.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the world, and from all of us here at ABC News. Good night.